Good morning, everyone, once again. Thanks for joining the call. And once again, Happy New Year to all of you. This is going to be a Q&A session, as you are already aware. So we will expect you to raise hands, and according to the order, we will be trying to answering your questions. If there are any questions that are really specific and we need to check, we can contact you later on after the call with some further study, let's say, on the question. In the meantime, please mute yourself so we will have a clear voice for everything, because it's going to be a recorded session, as you may already be informed. So please mute your microphones, and you may start raising hands. We will have Maria here, Bartosz and Rowena mostly trying to answer the questions, and the rest of the team is also here, try to answer the questions if we can. Maybe one last question. Point. If there are any questions due to time that we are not able to answer, please drop us an email. I know there are some mails, they were delayed in replies, but that was due to some holidays and then some technicalities. So I hope there will be quick responses for the questions. But please, if there are any unanswered ones, don't hesitate to reach us via participants mailbox. And we may start with Marilu, please. The floor is yours for the question.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much. Hi, Berfu, hi, Mayra, hi, everyone.
Hi.
So I have several questions because we have quite a lot in our project, people who are employed as a natural person under direct contract and not as employees. And my question relates to the like kind of cost occurred for those persons, because when we are going on a trip, for example, the company is buying the flight or the train ticket or the hotel, but we have those costs that incurred, like the taxi cost or like the reimbursement for the lunch and stuff like that. And we don't really know how to report those costs. Under which cost category we should report those?
Travel and subsistence, Marilu. Any travel incur by person working for the company, either if it is natural person, even a subcontractor, if you reimburse them apart, it has to be reported as travel and subsistence. We cannot hear
You're
you.
on mute.
Muted. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is the level or granularity for this reimbursement? Because obviously, like one cost is like one metro ticket, 2.5 euro.
No.
So
okay, you can report per trip.
Per trip,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
Per person, per
person per trip. Or if, for example, there is 3 people traveling on the same trip, attending to the same event, for example, you can include all those costs into that budget line for the 3 people in the same trip or event or whatever, because the description, it will be the same.
Yes. Okay, perfect, fantastic. And then the other cost incurred for those natural person under direct contract is that we are using these deal services to do the invoicing and the payment. And so for the company, it comes as a cost on the top of the remuneration or the revenue of those natural person under direct contract. And I was also wondering how to report those costs. And I was assuming that it will be under the purchase cost category as well.
Yes, other goods and services.
Other
yes.
goods and services, yes. And we have this like agreement with the service provider, so we can also sell like a direct agreement in the. Okay, super. And
please be aware, and this is for everyone in the call. Be aware that the best value for money must be guaranteed at all the time. So. Direct award should never be used when you do a purchase. You shouldn't use direct award selection process unless there is a monopoly of the service. And if that is the case, you need to explain, this is the only company that provides this kind of service, justify a little bit.
Okay, noted. Thank you. And my last question, if I still may, is to report the personal cost, because during our previous audit, the auditors recalculated our personal cost, taking the rate multiply by the work allocation or involvement, which then excluded some of the cost. So we started to wonder, when we report the salary cost, should we report the actual cost that occurred for us, or should we report the monthly rate multiplied by the amount of days worked in the action?
I'm not sure I understand that question. I would recommend to refer to AGA for that. What the salary costs may include is salary, social security, and any compulsory payments that you have for the employees. If it's, for example, for a 3 months work, there is also a compensation for holiday or things like that. You need to prorata that compensation of holiday for those 3 months of work.
Yeah, yes, that I got, but then again, for the natural person under direct contract, the social security, for example, payments are not included in the remuneration payment. It's a separate payment that occurred by the company. So when the auditors recalculated, they didn't take into account those costs in our previous audit. They just took the remuneration and they multiplied by the amount of days worked in the action to.
Well, according to AGA, any cost to employer should be included in the calculation. But if you are saying me that the auditors didn't take it into account, I probably will have to look at it a bit further, deeper, because I'm not sure what the auditors didn't take into account in your particular case. We can look at it separately if you wish. But in a sense, what AGA says is that any cost to the employer should be eligible.
Okay, noted. Yeah, thank you so much. I can then send you the screenshot of what I meant from the auditor, if that's okay. Okay, thank you so much, Maria. Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you. Faraide, please.
So thank you. Well, I start now. So I have a question because you said, Maria, the social security and everything we can pay when we are employed, no, by the startup. In my case, I don't have any salary because I am co-founder, so I work for free. But in my case, the social security, of course, we pay for. In this case,
for SME owners, you report under cost category employees A4, and you can refer to AGA because you have a fixed rate that you can apply.
Okay.
Please refer to AGA because you have to go to a coefficient applied per country, and a fixed rate applies for SME owners without salary.
You're on mute. Sorry.
Yes, because this include the trips and everything. So I'm went to the IT woman and everything. So everything I need to talk with Aga. The trips,
yes, please
the trips I
refer to
can
AGA, and also we send you an attachment in the email that came to you from participants email box. There is an attachment there that will guide you through the pages where every cost category is in AGA. So that will help. And then if any particular question, please send me an email and I will try to clarify. But for traveling, for example, you just need to go to travel and subsistence cost category and report in there any trip that you have done during the development of the project. It's also very important that you describe the reason of traveling. So not only how many people and where you went and the dates, but also the reason why you did this trip. Be aware that only necessary costs are considered eligible. So you may describe there whichever, the reason why you did that trip and how it links to the project, to the development of the project itself.
You are on mute, but any further
Thank you so
questions?
much.
Yes,
That's
sorry,
okay.
sorry, apologies. Just to add on top what Maria said, please be really cautious if you're adding, for example, taxis. Yes, something that means of transport that are really expensive. You need to have a really good justification on it. Because auditors tend to pick it up. Yes, usually the preferable option is always to use the public transport. If you're, for example, want to prove that, I don't know, you've been traveling you've been using taxi, or you've been using an airplane travel using a business or a first class, it has to be always really well justified. Otherwise, it might be difficult to, then otherwise might be considered ineligible by the auditors.
Thank you, Bartosz. Raluca, please.
Hi. So I have 3 questions. I did read the AGA. I just wanted to say that because I know it has been referred a lot. First and foremost, I know this is a lot of question for a big question for everybody, this personal cost. I want to give some context of my situation. So first and foremost, I got the funding from EIT Food Unfolded, which is not an organization that exists anymore. Secondly, when I applied to it, and when we had to present a budget for it, we had to present how much we would have for personal cost, but it was not necessarily mentioned whether this is employee cost or whether this is like contracted or so ever. The way that we worked is that we have the organization, which is Rebel Roots, that's the holding, but all of us, we are contractors under Rebel Roots. So the way that we want to do this, pay the people that work for the project is through invoicing. When I read AGA, and I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I can't share my screen. When I went to AGA, if we had people that have helped us as contractor, they should go under personal natural persons under a direct contract. Is that correct? When I go into Kava, into my EIT food platform, whatever, and I try to submit the cost, the cost incurred through contractors, I can only submit under personal employees. However, these are not employees, and personal natural person under a direct contract, it's empty. But I was never asked beforehand, like, this is something that it was not done by me.
Right. We will have probably to add you some funding into the cost category A2, natural person.
Yeah.
I thought that by having budget in personal costs, it will allow you to report in any
No.
of the A category. But if it's not the case, please send us an email and we
Okay.
will put you some budget, or we will transfer, if that is the case, all the budget into A2 so you
Okay.
can report there without deviations.
Perfect. And when I report there, right, we had contractors. I mean, we had to do a huge body of research just to make this exhibition happening. And I know that there are some thresholds available in terms of how much these people get paid per hour. However, people have been working from US to, I don't know, Romania to like, do we need to justify this, and in what way? Because we've also been selected for an audit, and I just want to make sure that everything makes sense.
Send me an email separately and explain the situation, and we will look into it in your particular case, if that
Okay,
is fine.
perfect. Sure. Yeah, I can send you an email about the whole personal situation so we have a
Yeah.
better understanding. Secondly, as I mentioned before, and this was something that I discussed with the POC at that time, who's not working at EIT anymore, the way that the funds were structured, they were like let's say from a year basis. We started in May and then we were able to finish in December. However, due to the calendar year, we had to submit the budget, let's say, before the project actually happened. So we have not spent more than the allocated budget. However, some categories have been higher than other categories. So for example, transportation cost is actually lower than personnel cost. Is this something that could be looked into? And should I send you an email on what is the final allocation?
No, we cannot amend the budgets anymore. So we have to adjust as much as possible to the budgets allocated to the cost categories that you have, taking into account that equal or below 10% deviation is not an issue at all. Any higher deviation, please provide description on the cost that you are reporting.
It's not more than what I've been granted. That's for sure. What is happening?
I know, but for example, if just an example, you have been granted 10,000 euros and 8,000 euros were for personnel. I'm not taking into account indirect costs. Just, in direct costs, you had 10,000. 8 to spend in personnel and 2 to spend in travel. And you end spending 8 in travel and 2 in personnel, for example. That exceeds the 10%, which will be actually 1,000 euros deviation. If you have that situation where you spend more than 10% of your total budget, please provide description on why this happened.
Okay. Oh, so I can still submit that.
And then in the performance report, also the lead of the project will have to provide explanation on why that deviation happened as well.
Okay, perfect. Well, so that leads to my next question. Where is this performance report and how it should look like?
The performance report is done by the project lead, whoever is leading the project. I don't know.
It.
Then you will have also details and emails regarding the performance report. Am I correct, Perfu?
Yes. Drop me an email. I'll just resend them to you and I'll try to clarify, Raluca, if you are the activity leader of the CAVA.
Okay.
In the performance report, basically what you have to explain is what it has been achieved, if it was according to what it was in the contract, and the resources you use, and the results. It's a bit not only cost, but you need to report on how you developed the project and how it went.
Right, but then wouldn't this be something that actually the leader, somebody from
Exactly.
EIT
That's
Food?
why we said you need to be activity leader, and I doubt you are the activity leader because it's probably someone internal. But if you like, just to save time, drop me an email. I'll let you know who is the activity leader. Probably that is the person who is already aware of the next reports that he needs to do. Probably not
she
you.
was our POC from EIT Food, probably, let's say.
POC, activity leader of the project, the leader of the project, the leading person.
Yeah.
Not from each entity. There is, in a project, there is one program manager or project monitor, let's call them.
Got it.
And then there is the activity leader who leads the project.
She has, I think she has this document, so that's fine. So then she would be the one that would have to say why we went over in some categories.
Yes, you need to contact them.
EIT Food anymore.
No worries, that's on us. We need to coordinate it internally. So that's not your concern.
Well, what I would do with the Barefoot, and I will send you an email with the final overview and how the costs have shifted between categories, and we see what we can do. And last but not least, and I'm done. Sorry for taking so long.
No worries.
So as I mentioned, we've been selected for an audit, and I wonder what else do we need to provide for this audit besides like what it will provide on the platform, because we will put on the platform the cost that we incurred, the description of the cost, the invoices. I would imagine maybe some evidence, but like the evidence should be with the program leader. So I'm just curious.
No, the auditors will ask you for evidence on particular costs. They normally do a random selection of the costs they want to check, and they will ask you for every evidence related to that cost. Again, in the document that we send attached to the mail from participants, in that document, it gives you guidance on which evidence is required per cost category. So, for example, for employees, you must have ready in your files, in case the auditors ask for it, you must have the contract of every employee, the timesheets, in case of an employee, I mean, the proof of payments,
Yeah,
and
we won't have any employees, but then, for example, for the freelancers, maybe the body
I
of
think we can.
work.
Hi. I think you need to check about the audit later. I think we need to move to other questions. Sorry, this is how you should run your audits is something that is up to you, and we can discuss it offline. But I think we've had specific trainings for this, so we're gonna
No, I
leave it
haven't
here, and we're
received
gonna move
them.
to the
Could
next
you?
questions. Yeah.
I haven't received them. Could you share that with me if that's
Uh,
such big of a problem?
If you were selected for an audit under CFS audit with EIT Food because of your projects here, you were invited to a training that
I was
happened
not.
in the last month. Then
No,
please
no,
take this
Carmen, they
offline.
are not selected for CFS. Raluca, let's take it offline, okay? Let me clarify
Okay.
for you once again so you know where you stand.
Okay.
Then
That would
probably
be
many
better.
questions will be done.
I
No
just want to
worries.
say as well, like we didn't really receive a lot of information, and every time I had to go to the program manager, she also didn't have answers. I had to go all around just to talk about costs. So I appreciate this is the only airtime that we get in order to do this specifically. So thank you so much, Carmen, and hope you understand.
No worries, no problem. Selenia, please, can you ask your question?
Hi everyone. And let me take the opportunity to say thank you to Maria and Berfu for the exchange that we have had and for this important Q&A session. So I have two questions. One linked to the answer that Maria said for the evaluation of the budget deviation. For me, it's not really clear if to calculate the 10%, so if we have a deviation higher or lower, the 10%, I need to compare the deviation with the entire total budget or with the total budget that I have for the specific cost category.
no, the entire total budget you have allocated, the total budget you have for all the cost categories together.
For the year, right? Okay, thank you. The second, I think it's quite easy. So when we submit the cost report and we, at the end, download the summary report, who should sign the PDF, the summary report? The finance contact or the signing officer, I think that it is the name.
Well, the signing authority there in your entity is the one that should sign.
Okay, so the signing authority.
The
Okay.
person, yes, the person that has the legal
Power.
that has the legal power to sign those type of documents. It can vary in different organizations. So if it has the POA from, I don't know, from the so yeah, it has to be someone with the legal power to sign those type of documents.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm checking if there are any hands raised. Maria Lo, please. I see yours. I think you are the next.
Yeah, a question about the conversion rate still. In the PowerPoint presentation about the cost reporting, it is mentioned that we should send before the reporting to participants the rate that we are using. Is it still accurate, or we just use the rate that we find from this website that you provided and just based on that do all our calculation and just hope
No,
we
you
got
just
it
do
right?
the calculation. You just do the calculation and put
Yeah.
it into your cost report, and we will do the checks, and that's it. And
Okay.
if we, for whatever reason, it wasn't correctly calculated, we will contact you and ask you to amend
Okay,
it
perfect.
or.
Yeah. Okay, super. Thank you.
Thanks. Maria, please.
Hello. I have question about grouping different costs. For example, staff costs. Can we kind of say at once the whole year of staff costs with taxes, or should we kind of divide taxes and salaries? And also, if we are having several engagement events with cafe breaks cost and so on, can we group all these engagement activities of 1 year into one number we are going to enter into the system, or we have to report all activities and costs still one by one?
If you're reporting a cost, it should be per person. Yes. So
Per employee.
Per employee. Yes. And the travel cost, because those are the travel costs, if they should be reported under the travel cost category. Yes. They should not be included into the personal cost category.
So if there are several members in a team, then I have to have one row per person, and this one row can cover salary and taxes for the whole year.
No, yes, it can cover salary and all the taxes, yes, for the whole year, correct.
Okay, and for engagement activities, I can group different breaks and printings into one kind of row in the system.
If you, for example, have a stationery, yes, that you have used across the project, or I don't know, some printing materials, etc., yes, you can put it like in one line stating printing materials for delivering project this and it, or maybe that are needed for this particular event, etc. It's always, yeah, it can be done in this way.
Okay, and if needed, we can show later separate cost rows per event. I mean that at the moment we are going to group, but later, if needed, we can show in detail.
If you have any costs that are clearly connected only with one specific event, it's good to have it separated on a, like if we're not talking about, I don't know, the stationary, very basic one, yeah. You need to be careful with the stationary and those costs, because those might be considered indirect. Yes, if you cannot clearly connect those stationary costs with a specific event, then you need to be careful if you can actually report them as a direct cost. But yeah, in general, it should be if you have any costs per event, you should put them in a separate line for this event.
Okay, thank you.
Per different cost category, yeah, because those might be different ones, yeah, sometimes.
Thank you. Domniki, you are the next, please.
Hello, Happy New Year. Sorry for having my camera off. I'm
No.
having a flu. I want to ask three things. The first one is that we started to complete the cost report yesterday, and I had something wrong, and the system doesn't allow me to delete it. But is it okay if I just make it zero money, so that it's not calculated in the system? I had an expense that it wasn't in this budget by mistake.
Sorry.
Did you submit your cost statement already?
No. But when I check my customized item, I can't delete it. I can only edit it.
Okay,
can, if you want, I mean, if you wish not to report under that line, you can leave it at 0, and we will delete that line later on before printing the report and everything. So whatever you made wrong, if that line wants, you don't want to report against it anymore because you just made a mistake, leave it at 0, and then in the description you can say please delete this line since I made a mistake or something like that. And we will delete it before the report is printed.
Perfect. My second question is about timesheets. We have timesheets for every person that works for the project, but we sign it at the end of the project, not every month. Is that okay? You want it monthly?
No,
okay.
No,
We will
that
change
won't be acceptable at all. And the situation is that if the timesheets are not signed on a monthly basis, the personal costs are not eligible. That is something really important.
No. It is on a monthly basis, but it's a total Excel file, and they signed it once. But I can ask them to sign in every month, and that's okay.
The issue is that the auditors want to see, for example, the timesheet done for January. It only is reliable, according to the auditors, if it is filled in by the employee, say, the last day of January or the first week of February, and then sign it by the employee during that time, last day of January or first week of February, and by the supervisor afterwards. But, do not leave 1 month or 2 months before you sign a timesheet, because then it becomes non-reliable for the auditors.
And I have one more. My last question is that when there was a period that we could ask for budget relocation between categories, we had a problem with the system, and we didn't manage to do it like that. But we sent an email, and then in our final report, we wrote we have a 500 euros from personnel category to other goods and services. And in the system, it's the previous budget that we had. So you will see the difference, this 500 euros difference in the final report, but now in the system, it's the previous budget line.
As I mentioned, a 10% is accepted. We wouldn't ask at all for it.
Okay.
If it is higher than the 10%, we may be asking you, please provide description on why there is a deviation higher than the 10%, which does not mean that the auditors won't accept it. If there is a reasonable description, and if there is a good reason for it, even the auditors will accept it. And even the EIT would accept that, because things may happen along the development of the project that you need to transfer funds from one cost category to the other. The only thing is that you need to describe why.
Yeah, I will in the description, and it's only 500 euros, so it's
That's okay
even
then.
less.
It shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Dominique, can you please send an email about this row that you would like to delete? Just mention, your entity name, yourself, and then I will coordinate with my colleagues via participants' mailbox, as always, okay?
I didn't listen about what to send an email.
The line that you tried to delete, but you couldn't, just send me that topic in an email, so we will check with colleagues.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I will do it on Monday. That I will also fill the other course, and I will send it to you.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better if you send now and we can fix, but however you like. Okay.
Okay,
great.
thank you.
Thanasis, please, you are the next.
Hi, hello. My first question is that we need to upload you a contract and the proof of payment. Am I right?
Yes.
As I checked, to upload the file, we should upload only one.
No. You can upload as many files as you need.
Really? Because I tried and I think that it let me only one. And I thought that I had
There
to
is an
merge
improvement,
them.
I think, Thanasis, if I'm not wrong. It used to be, and then they fix it. So now it's okay that you can upload more than one.
Okay, okay. If I don't, I should merge them, no?
Yes, or you can write to us and we will see what is the issue in your particular project, because we ask the system to allow to upload more than one file per cost category. So,
Okay. This was my third question. Thank you very much. And the second question is that you, as I remember, you need to upload the contract and the proof of payment, but you also need to upload a timesheet, or we have to prepare the timesheets and not upload it. And if the audits ask for us, we
no,
should
the timesheet is just requested for employees.
show also timesheets. We need to
Sorry?
upload also timesheets. It's obligated to upload also timesheet. Am I right or wrong?
But only for employee, the timesheet. If it is a subcontractor, the charge is due. I mean, if it is an A2, again, timesheets, so we know what time, if it is treated as an employee, yes. But if it is just a subcontracting, you don't need to upload the timesheet, because normally subcontractors will charge you per service, no per hour. That will
Yeah,
depend on how they charge you in the contract, per hours or per service.
Okay. No, I asking only for employees, for
Employees
personnel
always,
costs.
yeah, for employees always timesheets.
Okay, so I don't remember because the previous time I remember that you said that it's not necessary to upload them. So
No, timesheet is a compulsory
obligated.
requirement.
Okay, so we upload contract, proof of payment, and timesheet for every employee.
And pay slips.
Proof of payments and pay slips. Okay.
Pay slips of the months you are charging hours for.
Okay. So
And
for
timesheets and
files.
everything for the months that you are charging hours for.
Okay, so 4 files for every employee.
Not for every employee. Normally it's not required unless you have received an email like you have been randomly selected. But for the highest employee that you report, normally we ask you only for one employee, unless we don't see or we don't understand how you report it, and we reject your cost, asking you, please, could you upload this and this documentation for this employee as well. But normally we only ask you the highest cost that you reported per employees. If you have 5 employees, the one reporting more costs is the one that we will ask you to upload everything for.
Okay.
Is that, I don't know if that's
Yes,
clear.
yes. For example, if an employee charges 100%, for sure we have to upload the 4 files. If a person is charged for 10%, for example, or for 5%, it's not necessary to upload the 4 files.
No. If you mean in FTEs, no. What I mean is, if a person, if for an employee, yeah, he has dedicated, you are reporting 10,000 euros for that employee, and for another employee, you are reporting 2,000 euros or 3,000 euros, you will only be requested, in principle, to upload all the evidence for the employee reporting more costs.
Okay. I think that I understood, but yeah, but can I share screen for no, I can't.
You don't worry, Thanasis. You do report, and you may ask by email, sending an email to me. You may ask any question and I will clarify in private, or you can report as you think you should, and then when we go through your court report, we will let you know if it is okay or if we need any more evidence or whatever. Please, and this is a general for everyone, do not take our rejections as an offense or anything like that. It's just that we need to ensure that you are reporting correctly according to the regulations and how the EIT expects we to report. So we are just supporting you through all the reporting process. It's not that we are penalizing you or anything. Whatever you don't do correctly, we will explain to you what do you have to do, what evidence, additional evidence is required. But I mean, we are only supporting you to report in accordance to the regulation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Joanna, please, you are the next. Joanna Oliveira.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was on mute. So sorry. We were selected to be audited, and I just want to double check the evidence that we need to provide for personnel, because as far as understood from the last question, we just need to provide evidence for the highest costs. So
No,
yes,
sorry,
okay.
Joanna. When you say you had been selected for audit, you mean that you had been randomly selected to provide some additional evidence? Yeah. You only need to upload for the highest cost incurred in the cost categories that you had been selected to provide.
Yeah, for personnel. Okay, so we need to provide like contracts and pay slips and everything, but just for the highest the highest salary or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. That's my only doubt.
Thank you. Freek, please.
Yeah, thank you. My question, it's Freek indeed. It's Dutch. But my question was the same question as the previous question, so it's answered.
Okay.
Perfect news. Maria. No. You almost
Yes.
lost hand. Maria, no?
Yes, one more
Yes,
question
please.
about timesheets. We have to bring out number of days worked and also VPs. Do we have to say how many days per VP were worked, or it's enough to say just the number of days and all VPs that were covered within this month?
Let me clarify. You're talking about work packages?
Different tasks in the project.
Yeah, no. In the timesheet, you can, if the template that you are using specifies the different work packages, but what we are going to take into account, and the auditors will take into account when revising the documentation, is the total number of days worked per month. It doesn't really matter in which work package.
Okay, thank you.
And Snezana.
Yes, hi, hello everybody. I
Hi.
have a question which is actually related to Tanas's question, because in previous web sessions for financial reporting for EIT projects, you mentioned that no supporting documentation for costs claimed are needed to be uploaded in my EIT Food portal. Now I am a little bit confused. So please, can you clarify this? Do we need to upload any supporting documentation for personnel costs, travel costs, other goods and services costs, or we need to send you additionally if we are requested to?
Okay,
Thank you.
we have changed the system from last year to this year, and we are actually improving because the system this year allows to upload evidence. If you had been requested, like randomly selected to provide evidence, then you have to upload the evidence that you had been asked in the email. If you have not been selected, if you have not received an email telling you that you have been randomly selected to provide evidence in such a cost category, then you don't need to upload anything. That doesn't mean that we may not ask you to provide additional evidence. If while we are doing the checks, the compliance checks, we have any doubts or we need to check something that you reported, then we will reject that line of cost, we will reject your report, and we will ask you into the internal reference fields of that line of cost, we will ask you, please, provide or upload evidence about this. And
Maybe
we will
one-
ask you what evidence specifically we need.
Maybe, Maria, one point to clarify and remind. So while we were doing our presentations, trying to explain the whole cost statements, that's correct that at the moment you start to report your costs, you are not required to upload any evidence. But there was this disclaimer that we mentioned that while we start doing our checks, you might be contacted. And for those who have been contacted by participants are the ones that are selected to be asked for the additional evidence regarding on the cost category. So you are right, but that was also mentioned that now or maybe in the coming days, more might be asked from relevant entities, let's say. I hope that's clear.
Yes, all clear. Thank you, both of you.
You're welcome. Dominique, please.
Yes, I'm also having a question related to timesheets because, first of all, we are all freelancer under the category personnel. Sorry, let me find it. Natural person under a direct contract. So in the timesheets, we have months, hours, and days per month. But 3 among 7 of the employee that work in the program, we also had the co-funding from other projects. So in the timesheet, I have add as lines the co-funding also. So in the report, I should report the whole amount of money that we took, but I have to upload evidence like proof of payment and contracts only for the budget that is related to the money that we took from our project here, right?
No, the cost report wants you to report all the costs executed or incurred in that project, even if it's co-funding. The timesheets should not show anything about co-funding or EIT funding. The timesheets are the hours worked per employee.
Yeah, I know that, but what evidence should I upload to prove the co-funding payment, for example? Because maybe it was from our organization money, and some of that money is hours that I put on myself, and some of them are hours that I paid for from the organization. So I gave an invoice to my organization not related to the fund that we took from plant. And we have asked many times for this, and we didn't have a clear answer of how we have to prove the co-funding if it's in-kind contribution. Can I give you an example? For example, I took from this project 2,000, let's say, euros, but I work and we had upload and I did all the working packages and with the co-funding, the total amount, let's say that it's 500 euros, 5,000 euros. So I can write in the cost report that I was paid 5,000 euros, but I only have the proof of payment for the 2 of them. I have also the 3 of them, but how can I report it?
Take it apart in an email because this is a quite particular case, but any cost that has no proof of payment, it won't be accepted unless there is an SME owner with no salary, which has to prove that is an SME owner of the entity, and then he will prove that with a document that shows that he's a co-founder or co-owner of the company. But please take this apart in an email, and we will try to answer more accurate for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanasis, please. Thanasis, your turn, please.
Sorry. No, I just want to confirm that I just tried to upload the second file, and the second file replace the first file. So I'm not able to see, for example, 2 archives uploaded, and only the last one that I upload. You understand what I mean?
Send us an email, and we will
Yeah,
look
I
into
just
your.
Yeah, I will send it to participants.
Let us
in
check
the
with
pool.
IT.
Yeah, with dear Maria, dear Berfu.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll
Thank you.
coordinate. Thanks. Alessio, please.
Yes, hello. Thanks for organizing this. I hope my question is not repeating something you addressed earlier, because I joined a little bit later. In any case, I wanted to ask you how I should consider the highest cost when looking at the personnel. Is it, let's say, the cumulative that we are charging or the hourly rate? Let's say the doubt comes from the fact that we have, I don't know, for example, 5 employees that we want to justify, and the one with the hourly rate is the highest, is not with the most hours. So eventually the highest cost is somebody else.
No, the highest cost that you report, if you have 5 employees, 3 of them report 1,000 euros for the time they dedicated, and 2 of them, one reports 3,000 and the other one reports 5,000, we ask you for the evidence of the 5,000. So the one reporting more costs.
Okay, and in that case, the evidence will be one payslip or all the payslip that make the
all
5,000?
the payslips affected. If your project goes from January to December, you need to upload the payslips, the proof of payments, and the timesheets, and affecting all the project, the whole project.
I understand. Okay,
duration.
thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm checking if there are any raised hands.
I think there is one question in the Q&A section. Maybe
Perfect.
I can take that.
Yes, please.
So the question is, should we report invoice by invoice? What about the travel, the conferences, grouping the invoice based on trips would be allowed? As I already said, usually this should be done by the event. Yes. So if for an event I have a number of invoices, but they are regarding the same thing, but for a specific cost category and from the same provider, then those can be merged. Yes, but in general, if you have a number of costs for, I don't know, attending the event, and there are, of course, the personal costs because someone has to go there and be paid for it. Then you have a travel cost. Then you have membership fee for attending the event. So, of course, those 3 costs should be reported separately in the proper cost category. But like if you have, for example, 3 invoices for buying some specific supplies, the same kind of the supplies for one particular event, so this is the same cost category, and then this can be actually reported as a one. I hope I answered the question.
If it's not clear, you can raise hand to clarify. I don't know who is it because I just see the name iPad. Emanuela, please, you are the next.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, maybe you already talked about the deadline. There is something that's not clear to me. What do you mean by pre-submission deadline on the 9th of February? And then there is like the final submission on the 28th of February.
Okay.
Can you please clarify? Yeah.
The pre-submission is all your costs must be submitted by the 9th of February. Then we check and the signed document, once your cost report is approved, you have until the 28th of February to upload the signed document, unless for some reason we are behind, and then until you have your cost report approved, obviously you cannot upload the signed version, but we will try to do our best to have everything checked in time, so you have time to print it, sign it, and upload by the 28th.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There is one more question, Maria, in the chat. Do you want me to read? Maybe for personal cost A1 to 4, could you please confirm whether supporting documents such as timesheets, payslips, and proof of payments are required to be only prepared and kept available, or if they must also be uploaded proactively in Salesforce at the cost reporting stage, even when not explicitly requested by the platform? In other words, is the upload of these documents mandatory by default or only upon request during compliance or random checks?
Only if requested, unless you had been randomly selected to upload them.
If you are the finance contact and you have been reached out by participants' mailbox asking for additional documents, then yes, you need to upload them as soon as possible. If you are not reached out, then nothing to upload for this moment.
At the
But it
moment,
doesn't mean, but it doesn't mean that you may not be asked in the coming days.
And please be aware that you miss here the contract. The contract of the employees is also a compulsory document if you are requested to upload evidence for any employee.
Perfect. I don't see any raised hands or any unanswered questions, and we are really kind of on time. Last questions, if you have any, or otherwise you can always reach us via participants. So how it works, if we have the answer directly, we will share with you, and if further guidance is needed via the colleagues, then it may take a bit more time, but we will for sure get back to you. Faraide, please.
Just the last one questions, because I listened about it is random and everything. If we were selected, we needed to justify the documents of personal. I can't understand, or for everything.
So there are 3 groups of selection, I may say, depending on the mail that you received. You can understand from the subject, and also
I didn't
you
receive
haven't.
any.
But
So
who was the previous finance contact? Because I know we changed recently. That person might have received it.
Yes, I sent you an email already. If you can, after.
Okay, sure. Oh,
Okay.
I'll check if your entity has been
Yes.
selected. I will find
Thank
from
you.
the list and I'll let you know. And then you
Thank
will
you.
understand which ones are required documents for you
Yes,
at this
because we
moment.
don't have personal contract personal in this person. It's just with the founders work in the project.
Okay, let's see. I'll check which bucket you fall. Okay, I'll get back to you. If you send the mail, that's fine. Yeah. Thanasis, please.
Sorry, I confused. So we need to upload, or if you ask for us, we need to upload the 4 documents. If you ask for us.
Correct.
Okay.
You are the finance contact, right? If you have not been changed recently, then you must have received an email. But if you are not really sure, send me a mail, please. Just tell me your entity name, and then I'll check which bucket your entity falls. Are you required to?
Maybe I should search. I should search through my emails to see if I've been chosen in order to upload the.
If you check your mails received from participants' mailbox, you will see, but it's not to you. So just because of the GDPR reasons, we put everyone in the BCC. So it will just say, dear finance contact. But if you are still not sure, you don't see any mails, send me a mail. I'll check via participant mailbox and let you know if you fall to one of the buckets at this moment regarding the evidence request.
Well, one small note for Thanasis. Are logging in yourself to Salesforce and doing these changes? That's important for us to know. Now, when you were trying to load the files, when we were trying to load the files within yourself with your account to somebody else, Why I'm asking, because in order for us to troubleshoot what is going on with your loading of the files, please, when you're writing an email asking us support, please on what what finance contact is actually attempting to do the things.
So what we are trying to say, we have these cases that sometimes some PhD students are helping the finance contacts, and then they are trying to upload the documents. However, the finance contact is not that PhD student. So if you have any kind of collaboration with other colleagues, make sure the finance contact who is listed in the project is the one trying to work on the cost statements. If it's someone else trying to do the work for the finance contact, then for sure, due to the rights we have in the system, they will have issues. So make sure you are the finance contact. If you are sure, then it's okay.
Okay, but for example, our mail that we have in order to enter to the platform is a general mail, I think.
It's okay. I mean, if that mail is the one that is added as the finance contact, that's fine. But you need to use that generic email to enter to the system, and then the system will capture it as the finance contact of the entity. Although
I will check it out.
Yeah, although we prefer to have separate emails of people rather than generic ones, because it sometimes stuck the system because there are different roles attached, different rights. We really don't recommend using the generic ones. But let's see. If you still have an issue, send us an email. I'll check with Maria if needed.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. I don't see any hands, and we used all our time for the moment. Thanks for joining the call. Please don't hesitate to reach us for your questions. We will try to do our best. We may refer you sometimes or frequently to the AGA. That is important that you are the ones responsible about your costs. So that is the reason. But always reach us. We will try to do our best to ease your life. And thanks for joining the call, everyone.